Return of the Moon Joke episode. Hey there, stargazers. I'm Dean Regas, astronomer with the Cincinnati Observatory.
And I'm James Albury, director of the Kika Silva Pla Planetarium in Gainesville, Florida. We're here to help you find your way around the sky.
And this week to share some space jokes, specifically about the moon, since you'll be able to see it after dark each night next week.
Dean is a total lunatic about bad jokes, so just humor him.
We have some gems like, what holds up the moon?
What?
Moonbeams, of course. I've got a million of them.
Well, more like 5 or 6 of them. But as we wax on about the moon and show you what's up in the sky, we know that your interest will not wane.
Let's show you.
Okay, how does the moon cut his hair?
I know, eclipse it.
Ooh, one of the worst jokes ever. But that makes me think about eclipses, and we hope you saw the most recent lunar eclipse on January 31st.
It was awesome. When the moon completely enters the shadow of the Earth, it turns all shades of gray and orange.
If you missed it, the next one will be visible in the United States on January 20th of next year. Lunar eclipses can only occur at full moons and only when the sun, Earth, and moon line up just right.
You know, James, the moon's parents were really worried about him.
Ooh, is this another joke?
Yep. Every new moon, he disappeared. His dad panicked, but his mom understood. She reassured him, "Don't worry, honey, it's just a phase he's going through."
Bravo, Mr. Regas, bravo. But that reminds me, you can only have a solar eclipse during a new moon. And the next really good solar eclipse in the United States will be on October 14th, 2023. Hey, Dean, why couldn't the astronauts stay overnight on the moon?
Why?
Because it was full.
Now you're getting into the swing of it.
Anyway, we will have our next full moon on March 1st. You can see it rising in the east just as the sun sets in the west that day.
Okay, James, how do you know when the moon's going broke?
How?
It's down to its last quarter. When the moon appears halfway lit up, we actually call that a quarter moon. It sounds confusing, since how can a half moon be a quarter? But the name really refers to its motion around the Earth.
On the night of February 22nd, you can see the right half of the moon lit up. We call that first quarter, since it has traveled 1/4 of the way around the Earth from its new moon phase. That night, the first quarter moon will be in the constellation Taurus and near the Seven Sisters star cluster.
On the morning of March 9th, you'll see the left half of the moon illuminated. We call that third quarter or last quarter, and it'll be near the planet Mars. Yep, we went a long way for that joke.
So Dean, what do you think of that restaurant on the moon?
Meh, the food was great, but it has no atmosphere.
It's true. Unlike the Earth, the moon has no significant atmosphere. So when the Apollo astronauts visited the moon, they had to wear spacesuits like these. Hey, there's Buzz Aldrin. Hey, Buzz.
Hey, James, he can't hear you. There's no air out there. However, Buzz and 11 other astronauts walked on the surface of the moon between 1969 and 1972. Buzz Aldrin described the moon as magnificent desolation, and it certainly is desolate. Everywhere you look are dark-colored rocks and more dark-colored rocks. I know the moon seems bright, but most of the moon rocks are the color of asphalt.
On the last 3 Apollo missions, astronauts brought up moon rovers to drive across the lunar surface. The rovers were battery-powered and could reach a top speed of 8 miles per hour. You can't drive that slow on Earth, or else.
Or else what?
Or else you'll have to apologize.
Nice.
So, every night this week, check out the moon after dark.
Get a group together and moon gaze with friends and family. And if you want to organize the best star party ever, we have some words of advice.
You better plan it.
Definitely don't moon it. Keep looking up.